Where do our very ordinary lives connect with the eternal, the life of the living God? Where and how do they intersect? Where and how are we linked? Where do portals, doors open that we see in the ordinary, the extraordinary, the beauty, the glory that shines in and through into our lives, into our hearts? Well, this is the season to be especially receptive for that and perceptive in paying attention. So, where is the beauty? Where is the wonder? Where is the bliss? Where is the energy? How do we experience that? There's this one beautiful verse from the second letter to the Corinthians where Paul writes that the glory of the eternal God becomes real and is reflected through Jesus in our hearts. You see the three pieces in this: the glory of the eternal one, Jesus, and our hearts. And there is a reflection, there is a beauty, there is a connection going on. And when we look with child eyes, when we look for surprises, when we look for beauty, it's out there, it's in here when we pay attention, and it happens. And that is what the actual Gospel of John, the passage just described. The Word, God's eternal Word, becomes flesh, tangible, blood and flesh. You can pinch yourself. That's how real it became. That's how tangible. That's how down to earth into our lives the eternal comes, right here and right now. And we recognize that in the baby Jesus, and in each and every baby, that is a miracle, that is a beauty, that is something to behold. So if you wonder where and how that connection happens, it happens over newborns. So never forget to look at the baby. Look at the baby. Pay attention to the baby. And when I see Liam there, wow, isn't there a radiant beauty in there? You saw him when they lit the Advent wreath candle. Look at the baby, look for the baby, because the baby wants to be seen, the baby wants to be adored, and there is revelation and beauty in the baby coming real, being born in our midst. And that's what actually the Celtic Christians many years ago did. Whenever a baby was born in their small village, all the people of the village gathered to be in awe and wonder about the gift and the beauty of this newborn baby. Where and how does God's world and ours connect? Well, it's happening right there in the baby. The other thing that we can do to make those connections and be open to those connections is to pay attention and to listen, not just with our ears, but with our hearts. And that's where John, the one who wrote the Revelation of John, describes it so beautiful for Jesus standing at the door and knocking. And you don't hear that knocking unless you pay close attention and let the things and the distractions kind of die down, be quieter, make room, make space. It's kind of, where is that tug? Where is that knock? Where do you feel drawn? Where do you feel pulled? Where do you feel called? Where is the energy for you that is life-giving, that draws you in, where you are, yeah, that's where I feel pulled. That's energizing me. That's where life is. That's where new life is being born. And the opportunity when it knocks, open the door and move toward that opportunity, because that's where it is. The best way, or one of the ways how I can prepare for that, is by accepting what is for what it is. You've heard the saying, it is what it is. I think there is a deep truth to that. It's just, you don't try to change it. You don't get frustrated in pushing and pulling and working yourself to death. Sometimes just accepting what is. It's like part of the serenity prayer. When you continue it, it says in its words, taking every day like a day. Take it as it is. Accept it as it is, because sometimes it just is what it is. You let go and you relax into that. You relax into grace and think like, sometimes I'm beat. Sometimes the day comes to an end. And the best thing about a day is that it does come to an end and that the sun rises again tomorrow morning. So just accepting things as they are helps us open up to the opportunity, what may come from that, what is what it is. And sometimes to stick with it until the fight is over, just the big fight is over. I imagine it's like the flood is over and Noah and his wife and all the animals that were hidden and protected in the ark, finally they open the door up and they're let out and are again starting over. Or imagine the tornado, people in the shelter, it's over. Finally, you can get out of the shelter, open up again, and move back into light. Or it may be just like Elijah's experiences. He was fire and flame. He worked his whole life. He was a zealot. And then he comes to the end of his rope and thinks like, I'm done. I'm beat. Take my soul, O God. I'm just done. In that place, something can happen when you're very real, very realistic, with a deep insight into yourself and say, it is what it is. And then, when that is happening, look at the center, look at the focus. Each and every one of you has seen nativity drawings, paintings. They're all over the place. Now, the unique and often interesting thing is that in nativities, the light often radiates from the child, from the baby, from the manger. You sometimes see the manger there. You see Jesus' head, and then you see the rays, either from a halo or just the rays. And when they have the figures around it, often they're all focused to the center from where the light emanates, from where the light comes and from where the light spreads into our lives. To look at the baby, to look at the center, look for the light where it is born. The mystery of the holy season. That's what it is about, isn't it? Look for the baby. You gotta see the baby. Love has come. Love is real. Love is being born. Will you open up to it? Will you pay attention to the knocking at the door? Love has come.